How's it going today, guys? Today's topic of discussion, how I choose what clients I want to work with. All right now, Sutton, fall off your ledge. You sound like an egomaniac here. How do you choose what clients you want to work with? Oh, you're just picking and choosing clients now, are you? No, that's absolutely not the case. Literally, since day one of me starting Every Second Accounts, and I'll even precede that. Is that the right word? Proceed? I don't know. But I'll even go before that. And I literally looked at my 9 to 5 career the exact same way. How am I going to choose what company I want to work with? Now, I know I sound like an egomaniac, and that's fine if you feel that way. But there's a lot of good in that mindset, and I'm going to tell you why. So, how do you choose what job you want to work for, or what company you want to work for? Or how do you choose what clients you want to work with if you're an entrepreneur? That's important because you want to dictate what you want your life to be, what you want your client base to be. Because it is going to wind up being your life. Those people that you work with, whether it's in your 9 to 5 career or your clients, are going to be people that you interact and deal with day in and day out for maybe forever. So you better make sure it's people that you at least somewhat get along with. They fit your criteria of what you want to do, who you want to be, and who you want to be around every single day. Because if not, you're leading yourself down a road of, I would say, being miserable. Because you're surrounding yourself with people that don't mesh well with you, and that's no fun for anyone. So I'll start by talking about my career. Very early on in my career, outside of basically only my first job, that one I just took because, oh my gosh, I was getting an opportunity, I really took a long time to look at the companies I'm going to be working for and applying to and going through the interview process. Who was I talking to? Who was I going to be working with? What was the company doing? And it's not that it was like this big holistic decision, but I just basically wanted to decide, is this the right step in my career? Are these the type of people that are going to help me get to where I go? Am I going to enjoy being around them each and every day? And literally having that approach gave me a level of confidence that, hey, I'm just as much interviewing this job when they're the ones also thinking that they're interviewing me. And literally at 18, 19 years old, I started almost running interviews. It was weird. Like I was being interviewed for roles, but I was basically interviewing them to see if they were a good fit for me. Because I knew if I applied, I was rocking that position. So like I'll answer your questions fine and dandy, outstanding. But now I'm flipping the script back on you. And there's so many ways that I could take that. But first and foremost, it gave me a level of confidence and basically gave off this perception of confidence because it was the truth to the employer. Man, we better try to actually land this guy. Like this guy is great. It gave me a different level of, basically level of importance, I don't know, in their eyes because they saw, hey, now we have to try to score this guy and not the other way around, which really puts you in the driver's seat. Second was I wanted to interview these jobs because I would literally ask questions such as, what keeps you coming to work every day? To each and every person who I would interview with. And if they would say, well, it's a paycheck, or, well, I don't know, I literally would not go work for that company. Now, if it was just one person, there's bad eggs in a bunch. But for most accounting roles, you're not just going to interview with one person. You're going to wind up, with a few different either departments or managers, your bosses, maybe the owner. I don't know if that's for every single field as much, but for accounting, I found that to standardly be the case. So if I asked that question to 2 or 3 people and all of them couldn't really give me a straight answer, I shit you not, I was not taking that job. I would say, oh, thank you, I really appreciate your time. And I would literally act like they acted. I would go to other interviews, and then a few days later, I'd email them and say, hey, sorry, just letting you know I'm no longer interested in this role. Oh, did you find another role? Not yet, but I'm just not interested, but I really appreciate your time. And half the time they would come back and say, oh, well, if you're interested, please do reach back out because we were really interested in you. And why I'm giving this entire example is, and why I had that approach was because I've always realized that the people that you surround yourself with and the roles that you that you put yourself in are literally going to be the things that dictate your opportunity and, more importantly, your happiness. And I carried that over with me to Every Second Accounts and to my business life. When I look at clients that I want to work with now, they're literally clients. So for Every Second Accounts, for those of you that may or may not know, we're an accounting services company that provides top-tier accounting services to startups and small businesses. It's a very underserviced market for that level of accounting because they usually either can't afford it, and a lot of companies don't want to work with that because of the fact they don't always have these huge budgets to afford top-tier accountants. So that's the whole basis of Every Second Accounts. That is what we do. That is who we are. I don't compete with bookkeeper.com, bench.com. And these are very entry level, bookkeeping, just standardized accounting. You don't really have many people to ever talk to. If you ask a question, it just goes into a bucket, is randomly answered. The work is outsourced overseas. I don't compete with those companies. They're literally the scum of the accounting world. But they do wonders, and they're as big as they are because some people believe that that's all that they need. And I have no gripe with that. You know why? Because I don't want to work with those fucking companies. I literally have been in countless meetings or sales calls where somebody says, and we don't charge a ton, by the way. I'm literally saying that we are the dirt cheap option because you should never go with another option. Every Second Accounts is literally the greatest accounting company on the face of the earth. There is no alternative. If you choose another accounting company or individual over us, you're a fucking idiot. I can't have that be the slogan, but who's really going to watch this video? So I'll have people come into these and say, you guys want to charge me $300 a month? Bench is going to charge me $100 a month. Every single time, 10 out of 10 times, I don't even try to win them over. I don't. Maybe this is ignorant. Maybe I should. I really don't try to sell them on the fact if I've already given you my entire pitch and you look at bench.com and still say, I need you to be closer to that price, it's just not going to work. I appreciate it. Go to bench.com, and when you realize that that's not all you need it to be, then give me another call and we can talk. But I only choose clients that are going to appreciate and respect the value in which my company brings. Because if they don't, and if it's going to be a nickel and diming situation, I just want no part of it. So regardless if you're in the 9-to-5 world or you're in your business life, you have to be so stingy about choosing your clients, about who you want to work with. Because at the end of the day, imagine on a large scale that everything blows up. So for Every Second Accounts, even before I had any clients whatsoever, I always thought, if this grows to be the biggest accounting company in the world, do I want to be known as bench.com or bookkeeper.com? And I was like, absolutely not, because that's not, we do so much more. We are so much better than those people. So I never priced myself like that. I always priced myself like you're getting a higher tier option, So I understood that no matter how large the company, like as the company grows and scales, I'm not going to want to have those clients later down the road because they're the nickel and diming clients. If I'm not going to want them down the road, I don't want them when I'm small because that's going to begin to be the perception of what my company is. And it's the same thing for your career. If you're someone that's just almost fiending for a job or an opportunity and you're trying to just, and you're nervous and you don't feel like you're qualified and you lack confidence and you're going into these interviews, that's the type of job that's going to hire you. Is you're going to be surrounded by those type of people, and I've never wanted to be that. So I realize this whole thing may sound like an ego trip. I promise you it's not. It's tough to talk about confidence and not sound like a complete dick, but I really hope that this brought you value. As always, reach out because I would be happy to talk further about any of these topics with anyone who watches. But thank you so much for watching, and I do look forward to talking with you again soon.